Good afternoon again. Hold on, I got something on my lip. Good afternoon again, and welcome back. This is going to be a quick follow-up part two to yesterday's reading on Omorinbola Olatunji. I mentioned that I was probably going to sit with the reading that I did yesterday, and then come back to do a follow-up, which I did. It's actually been heavily on my spirit because there was something that I think I was picking up and I was misinterpreting yesterday. And that is specifically the Five of Pentacles that I kept seeing. And I kept interpreting that as um, financial issues, which I think it was. However, there was also something else in there that wasn't sitting well with my spirit. And that's the money. Money, money, money. And the church. Christ Apostolic Church, South Exchange in Chicago, Illinois. I want to talk to you guys today. I want to read into you guys today because I think there's something there, something more to this story. I was really perturbed, or not perturbed, but I was really pondering that if this church, according to Omorin's wife, if this church did the service, then there would be some kind of way to tie his funeral up with the church. I went on their website. I've actually been on their website all night, all morning, and I'm so confused by them because I noticed that in November of 2017, there's an article in the Chicago Tribune about a fire that broke out at that church. A very, very quick article, not a lot of information, not a lot of details. It just said that the cause of the fire was under investigation. And then in 2018, I saw another Christ Apostolic Church village, something about CAC North Village in Pennsylvania. And I thought, I wonder if the fire at this church had anything to do with this. And I'm assuming that it was new. I'm assuming that maybe, okay, so this is what I was thinking, and I could be wrong, which is why I'm going to read into it. I'm not above saying that I'm wrong. However, I was thinking a fire that broke out at this church, and I don't know if that church is still up and running post the fire, but I was wondering if after the fire in November of 2017, the building may have been able to be moved to another location in 2018. I believe January of 2018 to be exact. And that is when Tosin informed the Olatunjis that Omorinbola was dead. So I was thinking, if they had a fire at this church, would they be able to carry out a funeral service about a month and some change later? And that would be contingent on the type of damage that was done to the church, because if it wasn't significant damage, then possibly yes. However, I wasn't sure if the church on South Exchange in Chicago was still up and functioning, or did the fire cause it to shut down and then they decide to move to this new facility out in something like North Blue Ridge, Pennsylvania. Let me pull it up so that I don't speak so I don't speak anything wrong. Um, okay, so the church that I'm speaking of is supposed to be 8159 South Exchange Avenue in Chicago. And I actually emailed the church asking them if they actually carried out this funeral service. But the other question that the other facility that I'm questioning is the one in, it's the one in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. So I wasn't sure if these are the same churches and one just moved location or if they're affiliate churches. However, I thought it strange that a fire happened at one church in November of 2017, and then in 2018, January, the same month that Mr. Olatunji was supposedly deceased, I believe this other church opened. I went on their Facebook page, the one located in Pennsylvania, and I saw that they started their Facebook page in January of 2018. So the first thing that came to my mind was insurance fraud. Insurance fraud from the fire. Um, and I'm just going to say, I could be wrong. However, when I was meditating on this in the shower, I was sick to my stomach. The words despicable came to my mind. Um, Lust and lasciviousness, scamming. When I was on the church's website yesterday, I saw something like they were accepting $20 donations to give God thanks. Sorry. To say thank you, God, give a $20 donation. And I thought, despicable. Despicable. Charging people, or not charging, but asking for a $20 donation to thank God. What does that have to do with anybody's personal appreciation to God? Why do they have to donate, or why would you even ask people to give a donation in order to show your thanks to God? Scammers, scammers, the lot of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. In my spirit, I was looking at the pictures of the pastors and things like that. My face just, this face, just. So I was like, okay, I don't know what they had to do with the death of this man, but I want to know. The wife said that you guys handled his funeral. I want to know, did you? And this fire that happened at this church was only a month and a half prior to his death, per his wife. And you guys had his body. There was no article that I saw with this church speaking out, confirming or denying, rather, they had this man's body. And this is a Nigerian church, so I'm sure they know full well that this man's family back in Nigeria is looking for him. One click on the web, on the internet, and you can see an article. You can see the articles. The Nigerians stick together. It's a small community, even if they're here. So I know you guys know. Have you guys reached out to this man's family to either confirm or deny, rather, the allegations of you guys having his body were true? And if not, why not? I'm also curious, Chicago Fire Department and Chicago Police, What did you conclude in the investigation of the fire in this church? I saw that you said that there were no injuries, but the investigation was still ongoing. I'm wondering, um, if the fire was set intentionally in order for them to get some kind of insurance money. Because in the other video, I was wondering, what did somebody stood to gain from this man's death? The wife, who's been supporting her since then? And I kept thinking, if the police were to search the house that they lived in, then they would be able to find something, because I was so sure that there was evidence somewhere in the house that would break the case. But I'm wondering, what part of the church was affected by this? Is there a basement in the church? Didn't I ask in my first video if there was a basement in the house that they lived in or something? Is there a basement in the church? Is that where the fire broke out? Because I'm wondering what that fire was about. However, Christ Apostolic Church, North America, Chicago, even the Pennsylvania location, I want to talk. All right. So I want to talk. The Five of Pentacles kept showing up, and that is a destitute woman and a beggar outside of a church. It represents poverty, loss, spiritual poverty. But something in my gut tells me that there is more to this church than meets the eye. And I'm sorry, not sorry, who I may offend. This is no attack on the Christian community and no attack on the church overall, the CAC church overall, because I know that there's a Nigeria church. I know there's a church in Tampa. There's the one in Pennsylvania, and then there's the one in Chicago. I'm concerned about the one in Chicago mostly. So here we go. Can I please see CAC Church Chicago? And did they have any involvement with Omorinbola Olatunji's disappearance and alleged death? I got a pentacle. I got money. On the bottom, I've got more money. The Six of Pentacles reverse. You guys weren't getting the money that you needed to pay for something. That new building in Pennsylvania, maybe, but y'all needed money because the money that you were getting from the congregation wasn't enough to pay your bills or to fund whatever you guys were trying to fund. Yesterday, I got the 6 and 7 of Pentacles back to back in my reading. I mentioned it, and it perplexed me a little bit. And just now, I got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 6 of Pentacles was on the bottom. Again, you guys weren't getting enough money from the congregation to do what it is that you needed to do. Y'all wanted to move locations, but you didn't have the money. 10 of Cups reversed. You didn't have the money from the congregation. You weren't, look at this. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Y'all couldn't get enough money. Y'all couldn't suck enough money from your congregation to open up or to finish paying for that new facility 10 miles away or 10 hours away in Pennsylvania. That's why the Three of Wands is here. It's a 10-hour trip from Chicago to Pennsylvania. I know because I Googled it. Y'all wanted to move locations, but you didn't have the money. Scammers. Scammers. Liars. I'm getting a headache. You know that pressure headache that I was telling you about at the beginning of my video yesterday? I'm getting one. Did the church start the fire themselves in order to get insurance money? Now, I wouldn't be looking into y'all business if this lady, Mr. Olatunji's wife, didn't implicate you guys. I only look into things like this when they're public or when someone related to the case is publicly asking for help, which is why I did this. I don't intrude. But you guys should have come out and said something by now, or reached out to the family and said something by now. So was this insurance fraud? Was this fire insurance fraud? Five of Cups in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Deep loss and regret. You guys, maybe you guys, I don't think you want it on the bottom. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I don't think you really wanted to do it. I don't think you wanted to do it, but you guys needed the money. You guys needed the money. At least somebody who was involved or who was in on it didn't really want to do it. And because nobody was injured, but there's still a sense of regret and loss and guilt. So was this fire? Okay. Did this church really do a funeral for Omorinbola? Was there a funeral for Omorinbola Olatunji at or involving Christ Apostolic Church in Chicago? Did they do a funeral for him? Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Death in reverse. I don't think so. Before I say what I want to say, let me look at the cards first. Here's my judgment card. It always comes up in every reading that I do involving a dead person. No, I don't think you guys, I don't, this King of Wands is here. It's a fire sign. Mm, there, I don't, I want to say no. I want to say no. My soul is saying no. There was no funeral for this man. Um, Bottom of the deck is the Magician in reverse. Some sneakery, some treachery, some underhanded activity. You know, maybe I'm having a hard time with this because I want to say something, but I'm looking for the cards to allow me to say it. Y'all, I want to say so bad that the fire in that church had to do with covering up something in regards to this man. That's why I'm so anxious to know what the investigation concluded, how the fire started, what part of the church was the fire in. Was it in a basement or like a back room or something like that? And did the church, I'm sure they did get insurance money from it, but who is supporting his wife? Y'all successfully got away with something. Was she seeing somebody at the church? A pastor or somebody? Was she involved with? There was some underhanded activity going on because they were juggling money. There was some kind of plot or plan to come up with a way for financial benefit. And I want to say one of the pastors was having an affair, a secret affair. What's the secret affair with his wife? Or was he having an affair with someone's wife at the church? I doubt it, because, well, I ain't going to say I doubt it. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, his death presented an opportunity for money. I want to say to build the new church. How, though? How? Money, wish fulfillment, lies, secrecy, a lot of money. And look, the high priestess came out with the Hierophant in reverse, with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. When I clarified the Hierophant in the first, which is another church card for me, I got the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about money? What are we going to do? With the High Priestess, with the Hierophant, and the High Priestess was upright, there are some secrets about this church. They are hiding something. Insurance fraud is I think insurance fraud is the least of what they were hiding. Let me see something here. Give me a second, guys. One second. Mm, mm, mm. I want to say that you guys thought that this fire might burn the whole church down. You guys wanted to get a lot of money, but it didn't turn out that way. It didn't turn out the way you guys planned it. I think you guys wanted the whole church to burn down as well because there was something in there that is not supposed to be found. There was evidence that you guys were trying to cover up. It wasn't just about insurance. And I want to say maybe that is how they're connected. Maybe that is why the wife, this is how she stood to benefit financially. Pause for a moment. I got on my Auntie Dina shirt that my nieces and nephews got me for Mother's Day, and I'm wearing it today because my sister just had her baby this morning, an eclipse baby. Even though the eclipse is tomorrow, she's still an eclipse baby. So I'm a proud TT today. Okay, back to regularly scheduled program. This didn't go the way all of you planned. I think that is why the wife and her mother are threatening the family to stop talking about it, because the shit didn't go the way it was planned, and the more attention that is drawn, the more easily it would be to find out what happened. So Chicago police, look into that fire. Whatever y'all found in that fire, it has something to do, or that fire definitely has something to do with the death of this man. I am almost positive. Mm. It almost makes me think, but it was successful enough for you guys to be able to get that other church in Pennsylvania. So it's just like, yeah, y'all got the church out of it, but there were some loose ends that, oh, yep. Y'all, y'all got the money to move forward with that church. Off the strength of this woman's husband. How did this happen, though? Because they weren't in, well, they're all Nigerians, so they all know each other. They're a tight community. This is so disturbing to me. And I think the only reason I'm really disturbed is because I still second guess myself a little bit, because these allegations, and this is all alleged, this is all alleged. I'm not saying any of this is fact, and I am not accusing or factually accusing anyone. This is all alleged. But it's like I want to be wrong. So I'm confusing myself about what I see because I don't want to see it. If the South Exchange Church is reinvestigated, will there be anything that is found in that investigation that will help police or the family of Omorinbola Olatunji find answers in regards to his death? Because I could really care less about the insurance fraud and all of that stuff in the fire unless it pertains to the matter at hand, and that is Mr. Olatunji. Strength in reverse. I want to say that card is for me because I'm doubting myself and I shouldn't be, but I'm right. I clarified it. See, the Three of Pentacles, this is a church that they're building. This is a church, a monastery, a church of some sort. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This message is for me, I think, about self-doubt. And it's because I think I'm speaking the truth. I think I'm letting secrets out. So I'm just going to stick to my gut and not worry about the self-doubt. And I'm going to say that that fire has a lot to do with Mr. Olatunji's death. And I implore you, CAC Church, Christ Apostolic Church, clear your name. That's all I ask. Because you guys know that this man's family specifically called you out in the article. That's how I know about you, because she said, my sister-in-law, Tosin Lawal, said that this church, CAC, South Exchange, or whatever it's called, did his funeral. And she couldn't produce any photos of the burial because her phone had crashed and all of the pictures were lost. But this fire took place a month and a half before his death. So can anybody understand why I'm the only one that's like, something's going on? November 2017, and then he's dead, or she finally says that he's dead, January 20th, 2018. So was she supposed to get some kind of payout from the insurance money from this fire? This is the fire sign card, so I think so. Another fire sign card coming out of conflict, but I feel like this is a fire. I don't know why all these wands make me think of fire, because they're just all over the place like flames. The devil, waiting for a payoff, waiting for money to come out of it, so you can walk away out of this conflict scot-free, unscathed, undetected scammers, asking people for $20 donations to thank God, scammers, using people's faith to scam them in the most obvious way. Was the sacrifice worth it? Was his sacrifice worth it? Liars and manipulators with secrets. You know what I just thought of? A story that I read about a woman, a Nigerian woman and her husband. Maybe they were here in the States, maybe they were in Nigeria. I think they were here in the States, but the husband shot his wife. She was planning on, this is actually a video going around because her brother and her sister were coming to rescue her. And the brother and the husband got into a fight actually on in the video that we saw, because he had been abusing her. And he threatened her and said, even on camera, that he was going to shoot her and kill her. And I think the next day, because she came back to get some stuff or something like that, well, he went to her job, shot her dead. And I remember reading more about it, and they were saying that the husband was involved with a pastor who was involved in some dark activities in order to gain success as a pastor. And when I say dark activities, I want to say something ritualistic in order to ensure money and success as a pastor. The ultimate scam. And I feel like something like this is similar. I feel like it's something similar going on here, which is why I pulled the magician in reverse. It wasn't just about conning. It's something a little bit more nefarious. Was this man's death worth it? And I'm gonna say no. You didn't get everything. And listen, you got the money, but everything wasn't tied up all tidy and clean like it was supposed to. There were some loose ends because that fire didn't destroy the entire structure of that building. And because of that, y'all gonna get caught. Somebody's gonna get caught. And somebody feels like they made a mistake. There was someone stressing about it, actually. I don't know who. Was Mr. Olatunji's body in this church at some point? Was his body supposed to be burned in this church? I'm curious about this. Was his body supposed to be burned in this church to never be found? Four of Cups reversed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Um, I'm sorry, I have to look up some some of these definitions because I'm not getting anything with this Four of Cups in reverse. I don't know. Mm. Okay, well, somebody hoped that something would be covered up in this fire. I don't know if it was his body physically. I see a lot of money though. So if nothing else, I know for sure that this was insurance fraud. Um, there was some kind of money gained from this fire. Let me just ask one or two more questions. Was anyone from the church financially supporting um, Omarimbola's wife? You know what I found strange? On his Facebook page, his relationship status was single, and his Instagram's name is T Freaky. He only had 2 pictures up, but for a married man, I asked if anyone was supporting her financially. I got the Ace of Cups in reverse. A lot of reverse queens and kings. A Queen of Cups reverse, Queen of Swords reverse, the King of Pentacles reverse, Ace of Cups reverse. That could be a no. It could be a no. Let me clarify it. It's quite possibly no. No. One second. You know what I hear? Um, he got what he deserved. I think that she felt like he deserved it. Um, I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, I felt a lack of remorse. A lack of remorse on her end. And I think it's because she feels like he deserved it. Whatever he was doing, whatever lifestyle he was living, she felt fully justified in orchestrating his death. She feels like he got what he deserved. And in my heart, I feel like there is a connection between the church and this death. And so, if anybody sees this that has the autonomy to make a decision to look into these things, whether it be Chicago PD or somebody in Chicago who knows these people, or even his family who may gain a lot of support here as the story spreads and becomes more well known. Look into the connection between his death and the church and that fire, because I'm curious, as I stated, where in the church did the fire break out? Was it a basement or a back room? The cause of the fire. What was determined to be the cause of the fire? And can they produce any proof that they had his body? Because if they can come out and say, no, we never had it, then everyone would know without a shadow of a doubt that the wife is lying, even though everybody knows that she's lying. So then the burden of proof will be back on her to re-explain. But if they can come out with proof, they can put all of this to bed. So really, Christ Apostolic Church in Chicago, Illinois, you guys are the ones who can make or break this situation. Y'all can put the burden to prove what really happened back on his wife, or you guys can put this whole thing to bed and give everybody some peace. Because she said that there was a funeral, and you guys did it. I can't access any death certificate legally until about 50 years after the death. However, you can go and look for an obituary online. I didn't find one. What I did find, though, was the articles about this man's disappearance. That's it. So, I'll be looking forward to see if they respond to my email, because I did email the church. As difficult as it was to do, because of it was a lot of confusion for me. I didn't know which one of the websites to speak to directly, because there's a website for the South Exchange Church, but then most of them are tied into the village in Pennsylvania, which is beautiful. Actually, it's on a lot of land. So I know that they have been trying to procure this property in this church, I think since 2015. But the page wasn't created until 2018, I think June. So that's enough time to get the insurance money from the fire at the Chicago church to finish paying off whatever you need to pay off to start functioning in Pennsylvania. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong and say, yes, we did the funeral, or no, we did not, and she's lying on us. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching.